Hi everyone, welcome to week 12, our final week together. This week we're going to be engaging in a writing workshop that will take place in your virtual collaboratories. So this week is not content heavy, as I'm aware that last week we discussed a lot. So this week is really intended for you to spend time working on your assignments, discussing your written paper in your virtual collaboratory. And if you'd like, please do join me on Thursday if you want to discuss any of the work that you are about to hand in or need some help generating ideas. So please do pop on to the virtual office this week, and I'll be there to help you and collaborate with you. Some reminders, please submit a link to your digital portfolio by December 5th or the 6th. And then please also do submit your self-reflection by December 12th at the latest. So a central aspect of this course has been creating an intimate link between research and pedagogy, thinking about how they aren't separate, but rather they're intimately codependent, and really how they matter in making curriculum. So consider how your research dispositions throughout this term are orienting you in a pedagogical way, and also how your pedagogical commitments, that is what your curriculum aims to do, what's the purpose of education, what you're interested in creating, how that orientation orients you in research, what you're paying attention to, what your questions are. They're both very much linked. So as an educator, you're arriving to your encounters with children with a particular orientation and a vision. You have a pedagogical commitment to create spaces where children can learn to live well together with multiple others and in spaces of difference. You have a theoretical grounding that orients you to notice how meaning is made in relation, how it's composed with others. This is something that you worked through in your inquiry projects. These inquiries weren't done in isolation, they weren't done alone, but rather the meaning that was made, the ideas that were generated came from a lived experience that was made in relation with others. So in this way, thinking curriculum into being doesn't only come from the adult to the child. Ideas aren't transmitted from educators to children, and nor do ideas only emerge from the inner imaginaries of children. We're not only following the child. So in attending to the lived experience, you aren't necessarily seeking to understand the why of things or the reasonings behind. For example, you wouldn't be trying to explain why children say the things that they are saying, but rather you're attending to what is being proposed. What are the metaphors, the generative seeds, or the ideas that are emerging in a collective shared experience? And you're taking children's theories and ideas seriously in this way and thinking about where they might take you and how are they coming to matter in the lived experience. So what are the poetics of the experience gesturing toward? What is the felt value of these encounters with others? And then again, this isn't analyzing children's reasonings or why they say the things that they do or seeking to explain something away or answer it even, but rather we're thinking about what the experience is doing. How is it lived? What an encounter is generating. And thus our text, our writing, is situated in the lived moment, and it's writing to the how of things rather than the why of things. It's aiming to narrate an experience as it's lived, the feltness and the intimacy of it, so that in reflection, when we reread our work, we might notice emerging ideas or propositions that are meaningful. They matter to us because we're living it. And with those ideas, we can take them back to the lived experience with children to think about it more with them. And that's the pedagogical value of this, is that it always returns to the life experience. It comes from the lived experience and it always goes back to the lived experience. And that's the pedagogical there. So in paying attention, we're wondering about what it is that's being proposed. We're trying to see the artfulness of things beyond the literal so that we might pay attention, play with its meaning and create a different life of it. We're not trying to maintain the status quo. We're trying to attend to a lived experience in a way that is artful and that might gesture toward something otherwise or something playful or something interesting that allows us to think differently and produce something that wasn't there before. So we're paying attention to what's moving, what's intersecting, what's changing, what's challenging, what's puzzling, what's calling on us, and what are we being pulled to figure out? How are we being pulled closer to the world, into what is mattering to us in that moment? It's about creating a relation, and about study that's situated in questions that are lived.